Hi everybody. I want to go over the week 12 instructions to explain a little bit more what you are to do. So we are in Unit 4 now, and you are going to be writing a critical evaluation essay on an article that I assign. But this time I'm giving you two choices. So you will see links to two different articles. You will be choosing one of them, either The Politics of Fear or Hope and Mourning in the Anthropocene, Understanding Ecological Grief. So please look at both of them and choose the one that you are most interested in. The next thing you're going to do is to find a second article that is going to give a counter argument or a different perspective to the argument presented in either The Politics of Fear or Hope and Mourning in the Anthropocene. Now, you will not find a credible article that will deny political tribalism or deny that there is such a thing as ecological grief. So don't try to find that. What you're going to find, though, are articles that will discuss this issue and give a different perspective. So it might say that we don't have to be tribalism in our politics, or we do not have to allow fear to divide us. Or for the other one, you might find that we do not have to be bound by ecological grief. We can do things to overcome it, or that we need to focus more on ecological hope and being more optimistic and looking at what we can do about the ecology. To find your article, I suggest that you use a Google search. The databases, I think, will be much harder for you. So let me demonstrate how we can do that. If you're doing the politics article, I would suggest looking at politics does not have to be tribal. You could try other things as well, but if you do that, you may find some articles that give a little bit of a different perspective. Make sure you know that it's a credible source. I think Discourse Magazine is okay, but you could look it up. The Guardian's okay, The Atlantic's okay, Scientific America, Harvard University, Wall Street Journal. There's a lot of good sources here. You'd have to see if the article is going to work. Don't use Quora, don't use Wikipedia, don't get off topic and deal with, American tribes or something of that nature. We're looking at politics. So, or talk about other countries. So you can tweak that, but maybe that will help you. If you're doing the other article, you may try looking at ecological hope and see if you can focus more on that side of the issue. Again, make sure that you have a quality source. This one looks okay. Washington Post, On Being is okay. So check out those sources, and of course look at the article to make sure it really is on topic. So look for those articles. You only need one that is going to push back. So the article that I'm assigning is reading 4, R4, and the one that you're finding is reading 5, R5. All right, the next thing you're going to do is read a couple of items in the Unit 4 learning materials: ethos, pathos, and logos, and fallacies. Very important that you read that information. All right, the graded assignment for this week is part 1 of the planner for your Unit 4 essay. So it's a little bit longer essay, so we've divided the planner into 2 pieces. Now remember, you are critically evaluating R4, the article that I assigned. Again, you got a little bit of a choice. The article you found will be used a little bit later here in this part 1 planner. So where it says article information, that's for the article that I assigned: Politics of Fear or Hope and Mourning in the Anthropocene. Here you'll give the general topic of the article. Here for number 3, you'll give the author's claim or argument. What is the author saying about that topic? What is the point being made? Then you're going to fully identify the article, and you're given a model here for how that sentence will be written. So you could really just plug in the information. Please write the full sentence out here. And then number 5 is really a summary, a brief summary of the article. So there's spots here to give 5 key points. These should be in order as they're presented in the article. 5 is about what you're looking for, not much shorter and not much longer, because all of this will be in that first introductory paragraph. Again, remember in this part, you are not putting any, you're not quoting from the article. It's got to be in your words, but you're not going to use any we's or I's or you's. Number 6, I would like you to fill in, but this will be filled in last. This is your overall belief as to whether the author did a good job in making his or her claim. It's really based on what you put in the rest of the planner. All right, the next section is evidence. And you did something similar to this in the Unit 3 argument breakdown worksheet. So you're going to find 3 pieces of evidence in the article to support the author's claim. In the chart, you'll put the quote, so I know exactly what the article said. You'll identify the type of evidence, whether it's a fact, a statistic, expert testimony, anecdote, personal experience, etc. And you'll identify the persuasive appeal. Is it appealing to logos, pathos, or ethos? So read those materials. And finally, how credible, how good is this piece of evidence? Is it relevant? Is it accurate? Is it believable or credible? A couple of sentences to evaluate that piece of evidence. You'll do the same thing for 2 more pieces of evidence. And here you're looking for the strongest pieces of evidence that you can find. Don't just pick the first 3 things you see. Look for what the author uses to really convince the reader of his or her claim. The next section is fallacies. So of course, read the learning materials, and you're looking for any fallacies in this article. There's 2 fallacies that you need to fill in. If you don't see any of the classic fallacies, here you should pull out the weakest argument or the weakest part of that article. Again, you're going to quote the specific piece of information and with a reference so I know where it is, and then explain what fallacy it is and why, or why you consider this to be very weak in supporting the claim. And do that for a second fallacy or weakness. The next section is the counter evidence, and this is where you're going to use reading 5, the article that you found. So you'll fill in all of that information for the article that you found, and then you're going to scour that article to show what did that article say that was a little different perspective or a little bit of a pushback against the claim being made in the article I assigned. Here, a couple of sentences would be fine. And then number 3 is, how does this impact the author's argument for R4, the article I assigned? Does it make the argument not as strong? Does it make you realize, oh yes, this is just a different side of the issue? Again, couple of sentences to explain the impact of looking at another article that has a little different perspective. All right, so that is part 1. This is about roughly half of the essay. So the next assignment will be part 2, which will carry on with the additional parts of the essay. When you are done filling this out, of course, make sure you save it. And then you will go into, I think I forgot to put the link here, but I will put the link in the announcement for you to submit that assignment to D2L. That's it. So let me know if you have any questions.